guys, and welcome to a video about should you play Lord of the Rings online? The quick answer is yes, and I'm going to go over a few reasons why. Now, Lord of the Rings Online has an exquisite story, exquisite scenery, and experiences, and that's the biggest thing. Do you like hobbits? I give you the Shire, and not just, a hole in the ground, the actual Shire. Well, we're missing the South Farthing, but most of it. We even got here, like we go to the Bree land, we got Buckland. Somehow I need to... How can I get closer? I'm supposed to be able to go closer somehow. What do I press? Did not research this. Anyway, there should be a plus here somewhere, but that's to the Shire. Anyway, with the Buckland, you can see where Frodo stayed his last night before going into the Old Forest. You can go into the Old Forest. You can meet Tom Bombadil. You can go into Bree. You can meet... there. Prancing Pony. You can meet Barliman Butterbur, I think. If you want something a little bit older in the history of Lord of the Rings, you can go and see Annúminas in its broken down state, but you can go into Evendim, where the kings used to rule, and into Fornost as well. It's quite of a haunted area now because the Witch King from Carn Dûm came over and went ham down here. We have Forosel, which is basically a snowy area. It doesn't look white, but it's really white when you get into it. I haven't played it through a lot. I've been here a little bit for some Warden class quests, but I have that saved in. And Angmar is just a dark and dreary place, which is awesome because that's what it's supposed to be. And obviously you have the Rivendell, and you can go up from Rivendell into here into the Misty Mountains, and somewhere here, I haven't. Somewhere in the high passes here, you can find Goblin Town. You can cross over the Misty Mountains, and now you are in the Vale of Anduin. The Gladden Fields, the Great River, Bjorning Lands. Up here we're getting into the higher level areas right now. You can see Northern Mirkwood. Obviously a lot of went down here with Bilbo and the dwarves. You can see the kingdom in the forest. Names are all gone from me. Let's just skip it. You can follow the river down to Askanoth, Lake Town. You can go up to see the Dales. You can go to the Iron Hills. You can see the lonely effing mountain. Then you can go to the Grey Mountains. And finally, when you're finished the questing, you can see Gundabad, which is the name if you're pretty well adjusted to Lord of the Rings lore. You should know that name and what it represents. So I haven't played through that yet, but I'm kind of excited. I loved Moria, and it's such a great place. Visually, it hits all the spots I need to hit for me to love it. Rohan, I have mixed feelings. So it introduced mountain combat, which sounds great. It doesn't play great. And these areas here are quite flat, and there's lots of mounted enemies, and I don't like it. You might like it, but it's a universally disliked system. Though obviously we have some strange cats. I am one of them, but this is not one of the things that the strange cat me likes. What I do like is Dunland and Isengard. That was excellent. And I'm hoping now I get... the Stone Deans have been great. I'm playing here right now in the Western Rohan. and it's been great. There's been backstabbing and betrayals and everything. It's great. And hoping the Westfold continues this war on Isengard, and then I'm going to play through Helm's Deep. Hopefully, really soon. Depends on when I finish the Westfold part of it. After that, Gondor, Mordor, and the top of Rovanion. I mean, I'm excited. I hope I can get you excited. The other reason is, let's log out here, is different classes. So let's wait for the logout to complete and press the new character. Bjorning is, well, you can call it a druid from World of Warcraft, but I find it quite unique. The burglar is based on a rogue, really, but it has its own stuff as well. But there you can reference that. The brawler is unique from what I have found in the gaming market, and it's basically they use their fists and they punch things, and they basically just run into the fray and punch things. So aesthetically, that's maybe something you might like. Like you might like to have that as a role-playing scenario for you. I quite like doing brawler-like things on my warden, so maybe I like the brawler. I haven't bought the latest expansions, and I don't fancy spending extra money on a brawler whenever I buy the Gundabad expansion. That just comes with it. So I'll leave that for a later day to judge. The captain is kind of, sure, you can reference it to a paladin, but it's not the same. Definitely not the same. It has its unique features, and the champion is basically wave the swords around and things die. Pretty basic. It's just a warrior. The guardian is the other side of it, where he generally uses shield, but it can be quite effective as a DPS. Not the top tier, obviously. And again, the champion can also tank, which is what the guardian also does, and the Bjorning does that as well. The hunter is basically the hunter. No need to go through that at all. Lore Master is one of those unique classes. They have streamlined it quite a bit, but in the beginning it was quite unique. Same can be said with the Minstrel. Like you would think, oh, it's magic, it's priest, it's... No. The Minstrel has a harp on its back, or whatever you call it, and it's playing music to fuck you up. I mean, yeah, I'm down for that. The Runekeeper essentially uses runes on stones to hit you. This is well-liked class in the community. It does high-end damage if you want to do the raid stuff and all of that. And for questing, you can get some unique trade lines through the talent trees, or the trade trees, to have a really strong leveling character. Now the Warden is, in my opinion, the most unique class I have ever played, and that's not saying a lot because I haven't played the Guild Wars, the Elder Scrolls, the Final Fantasy, all of it. But man, oh man, is it the best. It's ranged, it's melee, it's a tank, it's a damage one. It heals, you can heal yourself, you cannot heal others, but his self heals are great, and you can put up quite the defensive with the block, the evading. Yeah, I was playing a captain and I loved it up until I hit Rohan, where the mounted combat was a problem, and I basically wanted to run around and kill things. I didn't like the mounted combat. One of these days I'm going to jump on the war steed and kill the things I need to kill to finish this zone, but up until then I'm just gonna roll with the Warden. I started my Warden after my captain. the warden is now like 12 levels higher, and I've been playing it ever since I started. Cannot recommend it enough. And that's it with the classes. They have been talking about adding a new one, but that's a different thing. Now, actually, one thing I want. Too quick on my fingers. I wanted to show you that when you make a new character, you can go and select how you start. At least I can. I'm a VIP, so I assume. So I'm going to assume that you can too, with the caveat that you might not. So I can start with the intro quest lines. Let's just log out again. It shouldn't take too much. Yeah. And do the new character. Should have waited for it to. Let's just do a burglar. Let's do some blah blah blah. Doesn't really matter. Shadows of Angmar. So begin your adventure in a new user tutorial tailored to your character choices. You have some character choices here. And some details and customizations. That's all for the people who like customizations. I just like them having black hair and broad shoulders, and that's about it. This is the most recent expansion, and it expanded on level 1 to 32, I think. And I haven't played through it. People have given mixed reviews on it, but those that gave it a negative review always had the caveat of, I wasn't feeling it at the time, like personally, or you know, I wanted some endgame stuff or anything. So it's not that it's bad, because the people who like it say it's great. Obviously the people who like it say it's great. What am I saying here? But those who didn't like it were like, it's not what we were asking for, which is more of the problem with the negative reviews on it. And I am going to say, don't play it, because it's tailored for people who want to create new characters but don't play through the same old. I really recommend you play the Shadows of Angmar version, and if you don't want to do a tutorial, you can skip. Now like this, I can finish up the thing. Appears to be gibberish. Right, we can press OK on that. Ed. Does that work? That name is taken. Ed. That name is also taken. Okay. Ed. And we go in. And I skipped the tutorial. Normally you get the starter zone experience thing, and you get the starter zone experience thing, but you don't go into this beginning phase. You just pop up in the world. The guy that would normally be there when you finish your startup is there, and you can just start. Little bit longer loading in because it's a new character. Should have thought about that, but should have, would have, could have, is the saying. So we started Arctic as a human. Josh Strive Hayes did an excellent review on this game, and he started as a human and he did this starter area. I recommend you watch this video. It does the pluses and the minuses of at least the starter experience, and then he boosted this character with a free boost that was giving out at the time, and he didn't recommend it, and I can say the same. I cannot really recommend that, because I did it with one of my characters and I was like, yeah, let's skip a little bit, let's just try it out, and like, I don't know how to play this class, because obviously you're not gonna level up the same kind of class you're leveling up yourself. You do it in a new class, and cannot recommend that at all. I have 120 level Rune Keeper, and I'm like, okay, I have to play Rune Keeper for the first, I don't know, 20, 30 levels to get a hang of it, and then export that experience into my current one. So maybe one day I'll do that. Yeah, that's most of the things I wanted to hit on. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the store. So you can press Ctrl and S, open the store in an external browser, and yeah, that's my screen capture thing won't capture that. You used to be able to open it in game, but yeah, also you can click the Lotro store here. But you can basically go on the Lotro store and you can see what's available. This game is free to play, and what I would say on that is, okay, what I would say on that is, obviously games need money to survive and thrive. So, for example, World of Warcraft needs its subscribers to be able to pay its content creators, its managers, its CEOs, its servers, maintenance, and all of that stuff. They need the players for it. The same can be said for Lord of the Rings Online. That being said, whenever you play a free-to-play game, you sit down and you go, how much is this game worth? How much should it be a month to play this game if I was a subscriber? You figure out that amount, and then you don't spend more than that amount on the Lotto store. And I'm not going to say per month. I'm like, yeah, okay, I want to add a lot of backspaces, which is a thing. So you can see here, bag 1 is huge, and I can move the backspaces around somehow, I think with the edit mode, yeah. But this is the original bag size. And you get quite a lot of things. Like, this is what you get in the beginning, and this is like collector's items I get from owning the Mordor, Minas Morgul, and War of the Three Peaks expansions. And then you get the gift boxes for, you know, and you get starter horses, and you get the riding skills, and you get some other stuff. So when you start, you go, how long am I going to play this game? If this game was based on the month, the 3-month, the 6-month, and the 12-month subscription type, how much is 1 month worth? How long am I going to play? Okay, that's the amount I'm going to spend. And then you just spend that amount on what you want and need. And it's important because the money needs the game, but you also need yourself to be responsible. And it's mostly because the gaming industry is so filthy right now. Like, it's disgustingly monetized. So we have to monetize ourselves. We have to monetize how we monetize ourselves. Regulate how we monetize ourselves? Yeah, regulate how we monetize ourselves. That's better. So regulate it ourselves. Our governments aren't doing good enough job on it, and I don't fault the companies for doing it, because it's allowed. You're allowed to. When you do things you're allowed to do, it falls on you, the recipient, to be the responsible one. I highly recommend it. Now, there's also the aspect of, hey, look, I got some bonuses from work or whatever, and I'm just gonna I'm just gonna spend on myself a little bit. Like if you go into the store and you buy yourself some nice shoes and whatever, that applies to video games as well. I'm not saying you should be here like Scrooge McDuck with your money on video games. Like the video games industry deserves some money as well, obviously. Otherwise, they will not make games for us. But at the same time, if we just give them money for nothing, well, we won't get the value back. And that's the thing. Get the value for your money and get value for your time. That's the cracker. Value for your time is the most important thing. Because otherwise, you feel like you've wasted your time. And that's something that this game does not do, in my opinion. It's not wasting my time. It's giving me an exquisite story and landscapes and just joy. That's why I highly recommend you play this game. There obviously are cons. I will list them quite quickly. It's not very well monetized. It can lag quite a bit if you're playing on the most populated servers, and even if you're not, it still lags. And then I'm going to end with the pro. If you're looking for a home, if you're looking for a community, try the Lord of the Rings Online community.